Yes, my friends, a while after I promised to talk about him, I am finally going to talk about the one and only boogeyman of South Korea, Johnny Somali. Now, I'm gonna be honest, Johnny's case is something I've been looking into every single day because of how satisfying it is to just watch his downfall that he rightfully deserves. However, even in those tough times, he still makes a fool out of himself to the point of straight up committing crime after crime. New charges are being added onto the total count every single day. He's guaranteed prison time. The entirety of South Korea wants him dead, and somehow he's still dragging himself a deeper hole. With that being said, let's get right into the ruckus that he has recently caused. So first off, let's start with one of the biggest charges. In fact, if I was to be honest, all charges I'm going to be talking about are pretty much big charges. But this one right here goes to show that Johnny Somali has somehow stooped even lower. Because in this video right here, Johnny plays a TTS donation, which is a text-to-speech, in the middle of a Latte World, which is an indoor theme park located in South Korea. So of course, you're bound to have children there because the main demographic that theme parks target is usually families with children. But the TTS donation in question that Johnny has blasted inside this theme park is simply just a message that repeatedly says that I want to do you know what with children. I'm obviously not going to say the real thing because YouTube would instantly strike me down despite the context of this video, but basically, Johnny knew that there were kids here and still decided to play it out loud for shits and giggles. Go ahead and take
아이들과 섹스하고 싶다 나는 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 아이들과 섹스하고 싶다 아이들과 섹스하고 싶다 나는 아이들과
Alright, so you've seen it, I've seen it, we've all seen it at this point. Johnny knew exactly what he was doing. He knew that there were children in this place and still decided to make a fool out of himself by playing this TTS donation and acting like a maniac near the end of the clip. And of course, we've all seen it coming. He obviously ended up getting a charge out of this. He's now getting charged for child harassment because of this incident right here. The Latte World staff even called the security on his ass. So if he ever tries to plead not guilty to this charge, there are witnesses who worked there that have seen this incident unfold, as if the video serving as evidence wasn't enough. And with the Child Welfare Act in this country, it's safe to say that South Korea takes the children's well-being extremely seriously. Because if Johnny gets recognized as guilty in this charge, he'll get up to 10 years in jail, along with forced labor or a fine up to 50 million won, which is almost 50,000 Canadian dollars. And unfortunately for Johnny, I don't think the South Korean justice system is going to choose the fine option because all Johnny has to do is pay the fine, that is if he can even pay it, which I don't think he can, considering his current financial situation, let's be real, and that's it. He can go back to his regularly scheduled bullshit. Now, the next incident we're going to be talking about is just as serious as the previous one, as in this particular case, Johnny Somali has threatened two female streamers to, oh boy, how can I say this? Forcefully perform non-consensual acts on them. So in short, he just straight up threatened sexual assault against those two near a pizza place. Now, I understand that this clip, just like the first one, is a few months old, but considering that it has resurfaced as well, I'm gonna assume that the prosecutors are finally looking into it.
Can you please help me? Help me! He said he's gonna wreck me. Please help me. He said he's gonna. Please help me. Help me. Help me. No, he's seriously there. He said he's gonna wreck me. I said that's a threat, yeah.
So obviously, no matter what the context is, Doesn't matter whether or not it's a joke, you should never find yourself saying this kind of stuff to another person in public. That stuff is just too out of pocket to even say as a joke publicly. Now, unfortunately, I couldn't find what punishment usually follows after making this kind of threat, but one thing's for certain, and it's that the prosecutors are gonna have more fun compiling charges against Johnny Somali upon stumbling on this clip, because of course, you can't just say that in public and expect to get away with it. No excuses can justify you threatening to somebody, even if, like I said, you only mean it as a joke. Now for the final portion of this video. I'm going to be going over a well-known charge that Johnny Somali is currently facing right now, and that being about deepfakes, which is considered by the prosecutors as another sexual crime, as those deepfakes involved a female streamer Bong Bong getting intimate with Somali, which is obviously AI generated because Bong Bong called out Johnny on it by confirming that it's fake. It never happened. She never had an interest for Somali in the first place. And since Johnny has pled guilty to the deepfake charges he first had in his trial from around a month ago, he's guaranteed to have up to 7 years in jail. Under South Korean law, the creation, distribution, or possession of non-consensual AI-generated explicit content is classified as a sexual crime. Legal experts have confirmed that this offense carries a mandatory prison sentence of up to 7 years. Unlike the previous charges, which allowed for financial penalties, this particular crime eliminates the possibility of a mere fine. So therefore, no questions asked, no fine option. This guy is guaranteed at least 7 years in jail, and I doubt he can turn things around or at least soften the blow he's receiving, because the prosecutors he's facing right now have a conviction rate of over 90%. So the only way for Johnny Somali to even have a chance of leaving South Korea is to have an absolute miracle come his way, but I doubt it's going to happen. In fact, the deepfake charges were so serious that Johnny's next hearing trial that he was supposed to have a few days ago got pushed back to May 16th. Now, that may leave more time of freedom for Somali, but while that is going to happen, it's not entirely sunshine and rainbows for him, because it's also going to leave the prosecutors more time to go through the charges and pick up new ones along the way. And John is going to have to struggle for longer since he has no money, he's completely broke, he's completely reliant on Hank to financially provide him. And he knows damn well that the only way the story is ever going to end is with him in jail. Anyways, with that being said, thank you guys very much for watching this video. Make sure you guys leave a like, comment, and subscribe, as any form of support means a lot to me. If you want to show some extra support, make sure to become a channel member if you're willing to do so. I really appreciate it. You'll get some exclusive perks as well in return. Make sure to also turn on the notification bell as well if you don't want to miss out on any of my future content. This was Kether, finally talking about Johnny Somali after so long. I'll catch you all in the next one. Have a good one. Peace.